All right, so I wanted to make up a little video. This is something I wish someone showed me years and years ago when I was doing some window film, and since I did this decal for the IO540 users out there, I thought I'd throw together a little video on how to apply it. Not everyone knows. I'm sure there's a gazillion YouTube videos on this already, but this way you don't have to jump off to another channel. So here's the label that you'll be getting. Obviously it looks blank because it's white text with a white background. So you can't actually see it, but the label is clear. You'll see that. I actually did a test fit of one of them. So you can kind of see this one. I just stuck it on there just to make sure it would work, make sure it would handle heat. So I didn't do the actual process, which is why when you see it, you see all these bubbles and kind of the crappy part of it. So to properly apply a label, this applies for window film or anything else, you're going to need the label, the material, some type of releasing or liquid to allow it to float. It has to be more than just water. You can go to any hardware store. They have window film liquid you can use. I've used Windex and found it works great. Something like a credit card, some type of plastic. Be careful you don't use one of the metal cards that actually has a metal inlay in it. Microfiber, has to be microfiber because you want to make sure you don't have any fibers in between. And that's it. So I'll go ahead and prep this one. And so to prep it, obviously it's just gonna be cleaning it with Windex, get all the oils off of it, make sure it's all clean, ready to go. And then we'll start from there. Let's go ahead and apply this new label, okay? It's gonna go on this side because here's where it hooks up to my center post. Obviously that's where it slips into the little pivot. So the label, I'll go ahead, give it one last wipe, make sure there isn't any oil or anything like that on it. Get it good and wet. And by the way, it also works good to have your hands heavily soiled once you are able to peel a corner off, because that will just help prevent you from getting any of your skin oils or anything on it. So now this one, I'll go ahead and take this one and also spray it. And this is the direct opposite of elementary crafting class, where a little dab will do you. This is where an absolute ton is best. You now don't need to worry about alignment or even bubbles because you're able to move it after you've put it on there. Make sure it's right where I want it. And now go ahead and start squeegeeing. And typically come from the center out when you do it. And it's not a lot of force. You want to be careful you don't use too much force because that can also cause it. Yeah, it can also scratch the label itself, whether it's this label or window tint or anything. And I'm actually going to just a little bit on top just to make sure that the credit card doesn't scratch it. Like that. Go ahead and wipe off that side. Make sure I'm still square. Yep. And then go the other direction, obviously. And like I said, it works best to go out from the middle. I have found. You're gonna sit there and just work your way out to the edge. And the label will still be a little bit wet, so if you accidentally put it on upside down or something like that, you can come back and peel it off and then reapply it. Not that any of you would ever put a label on backwards, but hypothetically, of course. I'll do one more little squeegee here. Okay. So I give it kind of a once over, make sure it looks good. And all done. So I'll set this out in the sun now, give it about, give it probably a day and then go and reinstall it. Can you do this in the airplane? Obviously you could. I would not recommend it. To remove the visor, all it is loosening these two screws here. You will need like a pair of needle nose or something to grab these backing nuts. And obviously be very careful you don't lose them. I just put mine back in there so I didn't worry about losing them. So I'll go set this out in the sun let it dry, and reinstall it in the next couple days.